Absolutely, absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick little breather, and then we'll come back with one more topic. Should the NFL go to an 18 game season? Stay tuned.
Hey there, ladies and gents. It's your local handyman, Anton Benton, here to help you with your problems. I'm here right now on the job site taking out whole kitchen cabinets. A little bit more work to do, but if you got a project at your house that you need to get completed, I'm your guy to finish it up for you. Give me a call, let me know what you need to get done.
Your new company, man. Shout out to your new company. Go ahead and tell the world about your new company real quick.
Oh boy. So marketing Anton Benton Pros.
Yes.
Doing everything from plumbing to electrical to making huge decks to doing closets.
Yes.
Doing it all. Doing it all.
That's what's up, man. I'm super happy
Thank
for
you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, buddy. So check out my guy Anton Benton, former host of Washington Football Weekly, and one of the ones that pushed me the hardest to move out and do a lot of the things that we're doing right now. So definitely shout out to him. He can fix anything, and he travels. He travels, ladies and gentlemen. He lives in Virginia Beach right now, but he definitely travel all across the country. So definitely shout out to him. But look, we got one more topic for you, ladies and gentlemen, that hey, we would love for you to weigh in on, and we're gonna give our 2 cents real quick. Their NFL has been talking about potentially going to an 18 game season, which would then end up bringing us finishing up the year, I believe, in middle of February, around like February 15th. Right now, it ends around the 4th, or I think it was like the 6th or 7th this year. So, Tina, I'm going to bring this to you. I mean, I would love to see football more, but should the NFL go to an 18 game season?
No, guys are already getting hurt in 13, 14, 15 weeks.
Exactly.
They've already cut back on the preseason, which is causing more injuries on that route. I don't agree with it, but as it has been said a number of times on a number of these shows and a number of our comments, NFL is a business, and businesses mean you're there to make money. And if the teams are not on the field, nobody's making any money. So I mean, nobody wanted a 17 game season, and they did it anyway. So I don't.
Yes. It doesn't. Yeah.
I like Chris's comment. It's not the think tanks that are coming up with this. It's the money guys that are coming up with this.
We want to see if we can get more games out and everything. But look, Tina, and I talked to you about this before off camera. Look, we're not even getting a full. I know they moved to 17. We're not even getting a full 17 game of good football. You know, I mean, a lot of these games. I mean, obviously, you might have the team that's far better than the other team, but then towards the end of the year, some of these teams they've already clinched the playoff berth 3 or 4 weeks before the season's done, and they're resting guys. I don't want to give them now 5 weeks to rest guys because. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to keep them playing an extra week? You got to have them rest at some particular point. So, for me, this is ridiculous. How many quarterbacks went down for injuries this past year? I mean, come on now. How many quarterbacks did the daggone Vikings have to go through this past year? So, for us to sit here and say we're going to add more games, and to your point, if we do this, we most likely are going to have to kick out another preseason game, which is going to give them less time to get hurt. So we're going to be tripping all over ourselves in the beginning of the season, just like we did this year.
Yeah, it's turning into college ball. College doesn't have a preseason. So what is it? What do the teams do? Not that the NFL can do this, but the teams beef their schedule up with subpar teams for a month. Use them like a preseason and training to figure it out till they get their ball going and they get everything going. And I just don't like it. Like, I like preseason. I get that by the third and the fourth week of preseason, you're really not seeing your stars anymore. But those are the games I like to go to, because those are the games that are about the guys that are trying to make it on the team. Like, you're seeing that third, fourth, fifth, sixth wide receiver that your team has picked up, and you can see who could potentially make it, and be good. Not just, okay, he's going to be on my practice squad now. And so I like the first 2 weeks of football outside the big guys, like the Chiefs and Miami and some of those others that came out of the gates going. It was college ball like the teams weren't playing well. They were struggling. Like, people didn't completely understand the packages they were doing, or how they were, where they're going, and what offense are you going to run on this one, what's the thing. And you could see it in defenses. People didn't know where they were supposed to be, because the league also has this rule that you can have off-season practices, but you can't practice in pads until you start preseason training. The thing. So, like, it's not like everybody's like, oh, well, they work. Yeah, the guys work out year round.
Yeah.
But they're not practicing drills, like actual drills with the books.
Even when you practice those, you cannot emulate game speed by doing that. You can run drills, you can run scout team, you can run all of that, but you can't emulate what you're going to see on the field and what other teams are going to bring to you. So it's just
and when they let teams do that, that's when we had those people that were passing out in 90-degree and 100 and I'm going to say 150% humidity in New Orleans. I know it's not 150% humidity, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. Like, it's so freaking humid down there that people pass out, and they can't do that anymore. And so I just think it's a bad decision, but I think it's all based on money. And if you think about it, it's based on the owners. The owners want the money too.
And that's the other part. We also got to remember that the NFL took a hit in revenue in 2020. Like, there's a lot of stuff that they weren't getting fans in there. None of these teams were getting any revenue.
Oh, the major
from
baseball took the hit too.
Exactly. So they're trying to make up for that by bringing this in. And the crazy part is that we already had an issue with, the pro games and playoffs was normally January, maybe into February, while the college games would end. For the most part, New Year's Eve would be some of the big bowls, and then the 6th or the 7th would be the national championship. Now, this coming year, they're going to have the CFP, the 12-team tournament, and that's going to push things back to at least the 20th. Now you're sitting here having playoff games and major bowl games running back to back on the weekend, and it's going to be very interesting, or sometimes even at the same time. And it's going to be interesting to see,
which is also then going to push the Senior Bowl and the North-South game and all of those, and then Combine. You're going to start pushing into Combine then too. So but they're not going to listen. They're going to. The only way it'll stop is if the NFL owners, somebody on the owners committee says no.
And the only way that happens is if we actually have another situation like what you were talking about, where the guy passed away because of the heat or something like that. And if these guys, something happens to that effect, where somebody dies because of exhaustion,
or we have another Hamlin situation where the guy has
that's the other thing.
That's what's going to take. It's going to take every starting quarterback to be out in the last month of the game before the owners look and say,
I mean, if the fact that the quarterbacks being hurt and having all these injuries haven't been enough, I cannot remember a time when one quarterback, much less two, went out with an Achilles injury. I mean, I've heard ACLs, I've heard ankles, the collarbone, I've heard all that. I have not heard of these quarterbacks going out with Achilles injuries. this is this wear and tear. These guys are
not
also
this extent, not to this extent. Right. Peyton was out the year he was injured, and Osweiler came in. It was Achilles tendon. It was an Achilles tendon issue. Achilles tends to hit running backs and wide receivers more. As someone who's had 2 Achilles tendon surgeries, it starts with plantar. It starts with some of those like repetitive use problems with your feet, and it can go from there. So it's something that you are constantly stopping and starting, and your foot is constantly in motion. I mean, that's why plantar is called the athlete's problem, because it's just yeah.
And with what they're doing, they're not going to be stopping that anytime soon. So
no. Yeah, I was always like, what do you mean they're out with Achilles thing? How could their Achilles tendon be an issue? And then I had the 2 surgeries, and I went, oh yeah.
Yeah, I see. I get it now. I get it
now. And getting plantar, like it's also called the runner's problem, because it's the constant. You're pushing your foot flat all the time. So yeah, but it's going to happen more and more and more. And also kids are starting to play these games at a higher level, younger and younger and younger. And we're getting these guys coming out of college who they have to have that surgery after their senior year, and then they're not quite back yet again. And I don't know. They talk about player safety, and this is not something that I see that's going to go to player safety.
No,
but
not at all.
We'll see the NFLPA. We'll see what the NFLPA has to say.
We'll see. But at the end of the day, like you said, the bottom line is that dollar. Is that whatever is that amount, X amount of money. Oh, we can get a little bit more by playing one more game. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And like you said, it's getting to the point. This thing is going all year round. I mean, we might not be playing full seasons. Exactly. Might not be playing full seasons, but these guys are all practicing. They're all playing. Some of these guys are doing, in college, they got spring games and they got all this. Obviously, there's training camps and everything like that. But these guys are out here going 100%. They really don't stop in the off season. So another game, we're going towards that, it looks like. But I just don't think it's going to be beneficial. I don't.
No.
But look, we're going to let you guys go, ladies and gentlemen. We want to sit here and thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Football Breaking News. And we're going to see you next time. I'm Sean Spencer.
And I'm Tina Winter.
And we hope you have a good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Peace, people. We'll talk to you next time. Washington had no hesitation in this offseason. They hired Bob Myers, special consultant.
They're taking advantage of the fact that players whose celebrities are public figures